Okay, I'm going to show you what I do. So I'm done airbrushing, so I'm just going to pour all the extra that I didn't use back in my paint pot. Sorry, I don't have a tripod and I only have my cell phone, so bear with me. Okay, so the pot is more or less empty. Just get what's left. Usually when I'm airbrushing, I don't have extra. I'm just kind of brush till it's completely empty like this. Okay, so there's pretty much nothing left in the pot. I'll give that a quick show. I can't see because of the light. Okay, so there's basically nothing left in there. This happened to be acrylic, so I'm going to use acrylic thinner. And I'm just showing you guys everything that I written down before, so I apologize if I didn't say something that I wrote down. But it's still the same method. So I have a quarter full of airbrush cleaner. Take an old paintbrush, I just mix it around, get off all that dried paint you see stuck to the sides. If you did spill anything on the outside, this is when I also break up all that. You can see it's starting to come. During this time, I pull the airbrush back and forth multiple times and also kind of brush on the needle part there. This just breaks up any dry or loose paint. For this was just a demo for you guys, so really there's not much dried in here. So it's pretty much ready damn clean. If you filled the pot up several times, you'll find that there's a lot more paint kind of dried or stuck, or it really depends how clean you are. So sprayed most of that through, and I'm just wiping down the exterior just to get rid of any paint that I've spilt. I'm not particularly too picky myself. I'm just making sure it still works for next time. So most of the paint's out, but as you can see, there's still a little bit in there. This is when I move on to using actual just airbrush cleaner. I'm sure some of you guys are asking, why don't I use just airbrush cleaner? It's because the thinner is a hell of a lot cheaper than the cleaner, as well as this stuff. I don't know what's in it, but normally I wear gloves and a respirator, but since this was acrylics, it has literally no smell to it. This stuff is pretty strong smelling, so I try to use as little of it as possible. So same thing, just kind of working around in there. Sometimes this gets stuff that was really dried on that you couldn't get off with your thinner. Generally with oils, I don't have that as an issue. So now to make sure the tip doesn't clog, which is probably where a lot of you guys are running into issues, pull back the needle, kind of give it a swirl and clean in there just to get off anything. I don't know if I can, oops. Can't really show you guys because it's full, but trust me, it's clean. And it's the same thing, going back and forth. This is just cleaning off anything that's stuck in that little O-ring right there. All right, so this looks pretty good. If there was still a little in there, I find with like blacks and reds and really dark colors, they're really hard to get out at the very bottom. So I have a little dropper. I'll just put in like a drop or two just to get it to flush all the way through. Now that it's been pretty flushed and it's all clean, I take out the needle. You can either use cleaner or thinner, doesn't matter. But as you can see, even though we flushed all that, you still have all this residue here on the needle. And that's where a lot of you guys are running into problems with it sticking or staying stuck. So just make sure it's nice and clean. Do that 1 or 2 times. Reinstall back into the airbrush. And if you wanted to give it a little bit of insurance, sometimes what I've done is just leave the tiniest of a drop in there. Just work it back and forth. Shut off the compressor. Mine's just one of these ghetto little fish tank pumps. But I've been using it for 2 years and I have no reason to buy anything else. It seems to work just fine. But that's my method. It seems to work every time. Oh yeah, and don't forget to put the little back cover thing back on. But that's what I do. Generally works for me. If you have anything different, then feel free to share.